It's Monday, April 6th, 2026, and I swear the AI timeline is now just surprise drops and mysterious tape-based aliases. This is Blue Lightning Daily. I'm Hunter.
And I'm Riley. And yes, this entire episode was assembled by robots wearing a trench coat. If it gets a little uncanny, no, it didn't.
Today's main character is a quiet little leak on LMSYS Arena. People noticed 3 new image models in blind testing: maskingtape-alpha, gaffertape-alpha, and packingtape-alpha.
The fact that the codenames are all tape is so funny to me. Like, quick, hide the new OpenAI image model. What's something normal? And some engineer was like, tape.
No keynote, no launch page, no here's our cinematic demo of a tiger made of strawberries, just dropped into Arena's blind side-by-sides, and creators did what they do: immediately tried to break it.
Arena is basically the Thunderdome for models. It's not brand safe, it's not polite, it's make a product ad with legible text, correct hands, and a specific layout. Right now, and I'm voting against you if you miss one detail.
And what testers kept reporting was not new style, it was control. Like, it follows the prompt better, it keeps compositions together more consistently, and the big one, text, that actually stays readable more often.
Which is huge. Because we're all pretending image models are for art, but the actual money use case is thumbnails, posters, app mockups, signage, merch, ads. If the text melts, the asset's dead.
Totally. As a designer, my current workflow is basically generate the image, then rebuild the typography in Photoshop or Figma, because I don't trust the model not to turn new menu into Himman sign in alien cursive.
Wait, hold up though. Are we sure this is really an OpenAI model and not just like a very spicy competitor with a tape fetish?
We're not sure. OpenAI hasn't confirmed anything. That's the key. But the pattern is consistent with something new got tested anonymously, and the community comparisons all started pointing to the same improvements.
And I like Arena for this, because it's not the company cherry-picking examples, it's random humans showing up with chaotic prompts and then voting. It's the closest thing we have to a public lie detector test for Gen AI.
Exactly. But there's also a catch. Arena favors first impressions. A model can win in a wowie blind vote and still be annoying in production if it's slow, inconsistent, expensive, or weirdly strict about what it refuses.
Or if it's great at make a poster but falls apart when you need a very specific brand pack, exact colors, exact product geometry, exact legal line, and no surprise extra fingers holding your soda can.
Speaking of fingers, testers said spatial logic looked better, hands and feet less assembled from spare parts, objects sitting on surfaces more often, scale and depth holding up better in multi-subject scenes.
I love that we're celebrating objects touching tables correctly like it's a moon landing, but also, yes, that's literally the difference between cool demo and I can ship this to a client without sweating.
The commercial-grade usability angle is what stood out. Better prompt adherence, better text, more coherent scenes. It feels less like improv artist and more like dependable collaborator.
Okay, but I'm gonna be the annoying one. Even if it's better, I do not believe we're deleting the cleanup step. Like, maybe we delete half of it. But if you're running paid ads, you still want typography as real text layers, not baked pixels.
That's fair. Even if the model nails readable text, editable type is still king for revisions and localization. But here's the shift. If the model can generate a draft with correct, readable text, now the creative direction is easier to approve. Then you rebuild only when it's worth it.
Yes, fewer rerolls, fewer close enough but the words are cursed. That's the real time saver.
Another thing people mentioned, world knowledge felt more grounded, like architecture matching the region, clothing matching the era, props making sense, less global city soup.
That matters for storytelling and for brands, because wrong details break trust fast. Viewers might not know why something feels off, but they feel it.
Now let's zoom out a bit, because the rest of the ecosystem has been moving in the same direction. Less hype, more operations.
Yes, like Netflix open sourcing Void, that object removal model that doesn't just delete the thing, but also updates shadows, reflections, and interactions so the scene still makes sense across frames. That's not pretty. That's usable.
Exactly. Void is basically saying editing real footage is the job. And then PixVerse V6 comes in like, also here's native 1080p multi-shot generation plus built-in audio and lip sync.
Which is so aligned with this control trend. Multi-shot and audio are not just features, they're workflow compression. Like, can I get to a reviewable draft without opening 6 different apps and losing my will to live?
And then on the live side, PikaStream is pushing real-time video chat for AI agents. Less export a clip, more operate a character.
I'm obsessed with that shift. We're moving from content generation to presence generation. But also, that's where the paranoia comes in, right? People already think half of customer support calls are AI. Now we're giving the AI a face and a vibe.
Which makes trust and disclosure even more important. And, honestly, craft. Because if you're a creator using an AI avatar, you still need to direct it. You need a script, guardrails, a style Bible, otherwise it's just a glitchy NPC with confidence.
The GPS voice of AI. Yes, drive straight. And you're like, that's the ocean.
So back to the tape leak. The most important unknowns are still the boring deciding factors. Output resolution, aspect ratios, speed, cost, editing tools like inpainting and outpainting, whether there's API access, and how strict the safety policies are.
And consistency. Like, can it do this all day, or was it just having a good hair day in Arena? Because production is volume. It's not one hero image, it's 50 variations that all need to behave.
If this does turn out to be OpenAI's next image model, the direction is clear. The battleground is control, not style.
It unites. Yep. Style is everywhere now. Control is the difference between playtime and paycheck.
All right, we're going to land this plane before the tape model comes back as duct tape Omega and deletes our audio.
If this episode suddenly ends mid-sentence, blame gaffertape-alpha.
Thanks for hanging with us on Blue Lightning Daily.
Go check out bluelightningtv.com for AI news and updates that actually matter for creators.
And subscribe so you don't miss the next time the internet finds a secret model hiding in plain sight.
Catch you next time.